I keep it 100, like Borden. In the streets, but especially when recording. Mint tea and a spliff in the morning, then I beat up the beat like doors to a Mormon. Mama said the devil find works for bored men and leave trouble only white men can afford them. I try to put my focus on the Lord then, but like Hocus, I was back up in the Trojan. Wanna invest in the future, you should let me sign a big...
And that's another thing that kind of helps me with my wife, because I feel like the connection we have, I've never had that with another person, you know? So it's like, am I gonna find that again?
Yeah.
You know, and I like, you've been through a lot of girls and you still haven't found that. Mm-hmm. So you might have to go through another 100,000 to find that next one, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, it's true.
No, for sure.
Because like, it's true. Yeah. Sometimes I think like, damn, did I fuck up? Like,
but I do believe that there's more than one person that you're compatible in the earth. Like, I don't believe that there's just one person for you.
Don't fucking settle. That's how I feel like. I feel like, why should I settle? There's all these people in the world. It's like, why should I settle? In a sense where it's like, okay, they don't have this, but they have this, or like they're like this, but you know, it's gonna go. Nah, I want somebody who has it all.
But don't settle. But at the same time, you gotta know that no one's perfect.
For sure.
And you gotta be able to see room for potential and growth, and not judge people just because they're not where you want to be necessarily. You know what I'm saying? Because, a lot can happen in a year.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're like, forget this person, the next year they're bigger than you ever thought.
Yeah, for sure.
You know what I'm saying?
But I mean, I still feel like everything happens for a reason in life, and like, you're never going to be somewhere where you shouldn't be, you know? And I feel like through life...
You're never going to be somewhere where you shouldn't be? That's deep.
Yeah. You're going to, like, everything that you experience is supposed to happen just like that.
But sometimes I feel like you put yourself based on your decision. Yeah. Like, I feel like everything you do today determines where you are tomorrow.
For sure.
So that means that there's decisions that you've made that brought you to where you at. So it's not necessarily that you were supposed to be there. It's your decisions that brought you there.
But why, though?
Why did you make that decision?
Yeah, because in that moment, you felt like it was a good decision. So it's like, you made that decision. Or
sometimes you know it's not the right decision, but you're still making that decision.
You still learn something.
For sure.
Everything's an experience. I feel like every single thing that you experience
is an experience. No, facts. That's why I never regret an ex or any relationship. Like, I remember one time with my ex, before we even broke up, she'll be like, I'm staying with you because I don't like to waste my time. Like, if I knew we weren't going to be together long, I wouldn't waste my time. I'm like, I can't say that, because even if we break up, like, that was not a waste of time for me. Like, I loved our experience and being able to meet you and knowing you and what we had, like, you know what I'm saying? So I don't feel like, I would never regret an experience, good or bad.
I do. I feel like, though, like, there's somebody, everybody has, like, there's somebody out in the world, like, there's gonna be somebody, who's to say? I haven't met them, who knows, but there's gonna be somebody who checks off the boxes,
For sure.
And I feel like until that, not like, okay, I'm just gonna keep, not like that. I'm just saying, like, I'm not like, shit. I feel like whatever's supposed to happen is gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you have to go through certain things, and shit, we gonna go through certain things. But it's like, there's somebody for me, and I know that when that somebody, like, appears, you're gonna, like, feel that. Then also, I believe in, like, connections too. Like,
100%.
You like gravitate to certain people.
100%.
And like sometimes 100%. That inner gut feeling is like, don't do it, don't do it. And like, you shouldn't do it, but you do it anyways. But there's gonna be somebody where you're like, yo, I feel like this person could be like the one.
For sure.
That's crazy.
For sure.
And then you're gonna wanna, like,
For sure.
So relationships are tricky, very interesting.
For sure.
Humans, very interesting. Anyways, let me not get too deep. For sure. Do you guys like? What about like sex life? Having sex with like the same person
over and over
again. Like,
yeah. Again, surprisingly, with that too, like I feel. I've never got tired of having sex with her either. You know what I'm saying? Like, I remember for the first 2 to 3 years, we probably had sex every day. like, like, you know what I'm saying? Like every day. And like, again, like I was trapping a lot those times. So it's like me, like I would take a lot of drugs, like with Molly, smoke weed, drinking. So like, you know, you're turning up, you know, like every day, every night was a weekend for me, you know what I'm saying? It's a lifestyle, you know? So it's like, yeah, bro, every night for the first 2, 3 years was lit. And I'm talking like all night type shit, like, you know what I'm saying? And like, I'm not even gonna brag. Like prior to that, like, I'm not a man who just have sex all night. Like, yo, I've had girls where I probably bust in like 5-10 minutes, or like quick things, or like, you know, like the thing with her, like, bro, like I was going all night, every night for like 2-3 years. I was like, yo, I found out what's going on with me, bro. Like, I got some special powers, like, you know what I'm saying? So like, yeah, that taught me, you know, it's really who you connect with for real, though. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, yeah. Okay. It's funny stuff.
What are some tips? Yeah, give the people some tips.
Some tips. Honestly, I feel like, again, back to the Bible, yo, do unto others what you want someone to do unto yourself. You know what I'm saying? So what you're looking for, do that same thing for the person, and it will be reciprocated.
Okay. What is like, what would you say like is like one challenge in marriage?
Just being able, like, when you start living with somebody, and like, people look at marriage like it's some great thing. Honestly, it's the same thing as having a boyfriend or girlfriend. The only exception is like the commitment. Like, you're with this person forever now, as opposed to like, yo, we could break up, and once we break up, it's done. Like, it's not that easy breaking up a marriage. Like, there's paperwork, there's vows, there's, you know what I'm saying? There's commitment there. You guys are building together. You know what I'm saying? But you could build together in a relationship too. So like I said, it's the same thing except for the commitment level, right? And what were you saying again? Biggest challenge is like when you're living with somebody, I guess, accepting who that person is for who they are, like the good and the bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, as I said before, nobody is perfect. So like, for example, you might not wipe that table how I'm used to seeing my mom wipe the table, but I gotta learn that, okay, that's just how you do it. Like, you know, trying to accept the differences. From different households. I feel like that's the biggest challenge. But again, me, I had to learn to just accept someone for who they are. Exactly. And express yourself if you don't like something, but also give them time to be able to process and adapt and change. Don't just say, yo, do that and expect it to happen right away. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Me, I'm very, like with my wife, bro, like she doesn't argue with me. What I say goes, but I'm not there yelling at her, controlling her. Like, I don't believe in controlling nobody. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, look at God. That's my best example. God can make you do whatever he wants to make you do, or whatever the higher power that you believe in can make you do, but he wants you to do it of your own free will. And that gives him a bigger glory. Right. You know what I'm saying? So if you're catering to me without me telling you, oh, do that, I feel like a bigger person, like a bigger man, if she's doing this for me without me, I must be doing something right. You know what I'm saying? If you're forcing someone to do it, it's not genuine, bro. It's like, to me, that's not power.
Yeah. So you say like communication is like super important.
100%. 100%.
What would you say is like the most fulfilling thing about marriage?
A few things. Good question. You feel like a man in terms of like the respect that's reciprocated in society, right? So once you're married, society kind of looks at you at a higher standard than if you're not, to be honest. Like, so in terms of that, when I go places, stuff like that, I could feel that respect level is different. That's fulfilling. Having someone that you can lean and count on, no matter what, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's fulfilling, you know what I'm saying?
Shout out to Wifey.
Yeah, shout out to Wifey, for sure.
Sending, lots of, many more years.
Yeah.
Forever.
Forever.
Yeah.
Forever
It's
young.
not every day that you see, you know, especially
A young black man, exactly. And that's another thing that's fulfilling, bro. Like, honestly, the impact that I see that it makes towards my peers.
Yeah.
Like, you can see that it encourages them to like, oh man, it's not a far-fetched idea.
Yeah.
Cause me too, like I used to look at it as like a far-fetched thing, like marriage. Whoa, I'm not ready for that.
Yeah.
But you see what helped my mind get ready for that was working on my spirituality and myself and being on the right track, doing right. You do more positive energy comes to you. You know what I'm trying to say?
No facts, 100%.
Yeah.
So let's get back into that spirituality and like, you know, yourself making the transition, you know, going from street life to legitimacy and everything like that. You're fully legit now.
Fully legit right now.
Fully legit right now. And how do you feel? Like, did you ever like?
It feels good. It took me a while to stop being paranoid at police and, you know, driving and stuff like that. Or even like, you know, going to a party and being tense and watching niggas or just that whole mental ignorant space. Like, it feels good to be at peace, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, it feels good.
Did your friends and your people like support your transition? Because, you know, like when you're in the life, you have a lot of people in the life, and, you know, I heard story, you know, sometimes they're like, like, what do you mean you're not with it anymore? Like, did you go through like a struggle or like a challenge in that area, or like were they supportive of your change?
The people who matter were supportive of my dream. You know what I'm saying? Everybody else, who cares? I wouldn't care if you liked it or not. Like, there's been niggas there's been times at point where some niggas be like, oh, come on, you're not gonna do this. And, you know, the old plug trying to get me back, shit like that, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, the people who matter, who are really like more significant, that's what they want for me anyways, because they know that's who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I had to come to terms, cause as a young black male, we all want to be gangsters and stuff like that. It's the culture, you know what I'm saying? We all want to gravitate towards bad, you know what I'm saying? But it's like, I had to come to a full circle to realize, like, you know what, that's not for me, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm more effective for others and for myself doing right than I am doing bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, when I was more in the streets, like, I'm in a dark place. I hate people, I'm angry people, I want to hurt people. You know, it's just like a bad end. You're paranoid. Yeah, the money is good, but everything else is like,
Is it worth it?
Is it worth, you know what I'm saying? So it's like, man, like, people don't praise you as much, and like, you know, but it's a better space, bro. Like, it's a way better space, bro. Like,
what's one of the biggest challenges with that, with making that transition? Like, that, are you experiencing any challenges now where sometimes you're like, damn, you know, I could be doing that, but, you know, no, I'm doing this.
Of course, like, whenever, like, you know,
especially like money, because it's like
exactly
fast money, right?
Yo, that's the biggest challenge. Like, even now, sometimes I'm like,
let me just do this one little.
Yo, it's so easy to just, especially when you know people, it's so easy to just step right in there. From here to Toronto, it's so easy to go left, but, you know, I know it's not. I feel like, you know how everybody has a certain level of favor in terms of level of things you could get away with in life. I feel like for me, I'm at my peak. Like, if I go backwards, I'm gonna die. Like, that's my next step. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I've never killed nobody, but that's the tip I was on before changing. Like, I was on that tip. I'm like ready for that. You know what I'm saying? Like, I was on go. Like, let's go. Like, you know what I'm saying? So I know, like, if I go back, I already know where that is. So it's like,
and it's a place you're just not trying to go.
I'm not trying to do that, bro. You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to go back there still.
Would you say that, like, music has helped you through that transition as well?
No, it hasn't helped me with that. I just started getting back into music now. I actually stopped music for a while because, to me, it's like, once I separate myself with the streets, I'm like, if I'm not in that life, I felt like, why am I even rapping anymore? Because, like,
your content.
I like rapping that ignorant, got the strap in the trap, I don't lack, bitch don't make me snap. I was whipping that crack. That's a fact. But like, if you can't talk ignorant like that, like, I'm not even rapping. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. So we're talking about music and closure and writing, and you're finding closure through writing, I guess, new lyrics, new sound, new everything like that.
Yeah.
So is that what we can expect from you? Some more heartfelt?
Yeah, I'm actually working on an album right now. It's called Fight. Because when my grandmother died, that's another thing that brought me close to my wife, you know, my grandmother dying, and she was there for me, whatever. When my grandmother died, I had a dream that she came and she visited me. She's like, you ever want to see me again? You got to fight. And I understood immediately what that was. That was like fight for my spirituality, fight for what she taught me when I was a child, and believing in God and being a righteous man, you know what I'm trying to say? And making it to heaven, basically, you know, like you want to make it to heaven, you know what you got to do, you know? So, yeah, that's the album I'm working on right now. And basically, in this album, I want to talk about my experience, but talk about the bad that comes with it, and talk about like choosing right over bad, basically.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
Deep.
Yeah.
I like deep shit. Like when you're like, people can like feel your story, through your lyrics and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So would you say like you're an artist? Like you that's what you do? Like what's your, if someone was to say, yo, what do you do?
I'm an artist, but like
It's just
at heart,
your branches.
Yeah, like I don't want to be like, that's just not me, like just an artist. Like there's so many things I want to do. I don't want to confine myself to just artists. And to be honest, I don't do the things that artists do, like perform, go to shows, connect with other artists. You know, I don't really like work on my artistry like that. For me, it's like when I feel it, I go do something, I let it out. It's therapy for me. You know what I mean? So, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, what do you want to do in life? Like if you could be anything and do anything and leave an impact, like what do you want to be remembered for? Who do you want to be remembered as?
I don't know exactly yet, but I know I'm on the way to it. Like eventually, also again with the podcast, you know, building a platform to be a voice. So I want to be a voice. I want to be a voice, and like, you know, for everyone to listen and show them that, yeah, I know you're hurt, I know your anger, I know your pain, I know this, I know that. You know what I'm saying? As I said, I've been through it all, bro. Like, except for kill nobody, I haven't killed nobody, but I was damn near walking around with a strap on me, wishing a nigga would. Like, I wanted that, you know what I'm saying? But thank God it never went there, right? So I feel like I can relate. Like, there's a lot of young, black, angry young men, bro. They're just angry, and it's because they're missing stuff. They're missing love. They're missing family. They're missing. A lot of niggas turn to the street because your niggas become family. You know what I'm saying? They're looking for a love, family. You know, people they could trust.
That's science. Like that's like, there's no denying that.
Yeah. Like some of the top shooters that I've met in my life are some of the most emotional niggas ever. You know what I'm saying? What does that tell you?
They didn't have something when they were younger.
Oh, these niggas looking for a shoulder to cry on, bro. You know what I'm saying? They're hurt.
Even you said that when you're growing up, you never had like a role model, like a middle role model to be like, yo, shit
like that.
I can do that.
Exactly, and the people who become our role model, or the, you know, the OGs, the ones that are seem like they have it together because they have the money, they have the bitches, they have the car, they have the jewelry, they have everything, but he don't know what this nigga is going through to live that life. You know what I'm saying?
So would you like want to go like to the communities and like I guess like be that like figure, like that model, like that role model?
100%, and incorporating the God aspect in it, because from what I experienced, you can't do it without, I can't do it without God in my life. So in my world, that's the way out, through God. If you could find God, you could find a way out the street, and you could find a better life. You know what I'm trying to say?
Do you go to church?
I have a church that I go to. I'm not there every Sunday like I want to be, but I have a church that I go to, Andrew Henney, Wisdom and Life Apostolic Church, Point Claire. Yeah, that's my church, but I don't go every Sunday. I don't really like the whole religious, churchy, go to church every Sunday. Cause like the way the church and stuff is built, it's almost like they're there for themselves as opposed to there for the world. And to me, like believing in God and Jesus was out on the streets talking with the whores, talking with the prostitute, talking with the killers. He was out on the street working, trying to change lives, you know what I'm trying to say? So being confined into the building and just preaching and talking to each other every Sunday, to me, that's like, there's more to this. Like, you know, it has never sat well with me.
Do you feel like, you know, your relationship with God is your relationship with God, and like it's something you want to like, do you feel like, how do I say this? Do you feel like it's something like, not you that you project onto other people, but it's something like you encourage other people to believe in as well? Or is like your relationship with God is your relationship with God, and like?
No, definitely, but to only people I connect with. If I connect to you on a certain level, you're gonna hear something about God come out of my life to you, because like I fuck with you, like, you know what I'm saying? But if I don't connect with you, or if I feel like you're not trying to hear nothing like that, or, you know, if I get certain energies, I don't even bring that up, because I understand, bro, you know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I feel that. So, what's what's an internal, like something that you struggle with right now to this day, like internally, I guess, like whether it be because of like you went from there to here, or like, you know, just
I struggle with being the person I know that I can be every day. Like there's a certain height of myself that I know who I am and who I'm supposed to be. And I guess
something's holding you back from that.
Yeah, I'm holding myself back from that, you know? And that's what I fight with every day, man.
Why? Do you think? Like what is it, do you think, that's holding you back from that?
A little bit of everything, a little bit of maybe not having the role models around me, a little bit of fighting my own demons that come back every now and then, you know, as much as I'm trying to be this quote unquote righteous, good person, like there's still a lot of bad habits that are slowly breaking that come back sometimes. You gotta start all over and break it again, you know? So, yeah, it's just me, bro.
I feel like as human beings, we have adapted to our experiences, and they've kind of shaped us into the people that we are today.
Facts.
And sometimes you need to like backtrack to the roots of like where it all started. Like, why am I like this? Or what did I learn? Or okay, I'm like this because of this. And like just being able to identify like our barriers and like our emotions and stuff like that, and processing and really dissecting our emotions, I feel like is really important to do. And I feel like not many people know how to do that. So one of the ways I feel like is a good way to heal, I feel like, is something that I guess my experience anyways, I can't just project this onto everybody, but I feel like is that everybody battles demons, and you know, we feel like we're experiencing this on our own, but in reality, there's so many other
that can relate.
people
Facts.
who are battling the same demons.
Facts.
So it's like there's a lot of conversations that are not had, that are not put into
and saying that, one of the biggest things that helped me too when I was changing is therapy. Because
normalize
therapy. I had to get therapy, you know, to kind of help my case. And at first I was like, what am I doing here? Like, I don't want to tell this girl my business, you know, it's a real, you know. But like a few months down the road, you're looking forward to going. Like it feels good, you know. And she was able to show me, as you're saying, who you are, but who were you growing up? How did you lose yourself? Like, who do you want to be? Kind of just identifying with yourself. You know what I'm saying?
It's so crazy. Like it's actually like it's mind blowing to me, because like we all have different stories. Everybody has their own story, but all in all, we're the same.
Yeah, human race. Yeah.
We're actually the same.
For sure.
It's like 1 + 1 actually equals 2.
For sure.
If you don't grow up with your mom, or you don't grow up with your dad, there's effects that are just inevitable.
For sure.
It's gonna happen like that. It's just a matter of like identifying that and like making the necessary like adjustments and putting in the work to actually wanting to overcome. I always just say like it's like you become a product of your environment, or you become better. You know, it's like you really have the choice. And like some people sulk in their experiences, and then some people use those as strengths to push them to the next level. So it seems like to me like you're really using your experiences to kind of like push yourself to the next level. It's really good to see, because like not everybody is there. Not everybody's able to even identify some of these things. So it's important for like people like you to be in the community and just like voicing your experiences.
Yo, thanks to God though, because I said like if it was up to me, bro, I would have crashed out, you know. And as I said, I know this seems crazy, but God really came to me. God came to me, he spoke to me, you know, and that my life's never been the same since then, like, you know.
Did you ever hear like the life that you live is not for you?
The life that you live is not for you.
It's not even for you.
It's for others.
It's for other people.
Facts.
It's like
I agree.
Your experiences are your experiences, but like to get through that,
facts.
You help somebody else.
Facts.
And then like you sharing that experience with somebody else helps them get through their experience.
I said it in one of my interviews. One of the most powerful things to me is before my grandma was dying, someone was asking her like, you know, how do you, and looking back on your life, like, what's the conclusion of it all? What do you have to say, you know? And she's just like, honestly, for me, one of the greatest joy that I have is knowing that I help people and I impacted life. And that alone makes me feel good, knowing that I'm dying, that I helped, you know? It was like, that was super powerful to me, like, you know? So, and a lot of time, me too, I was in a place where I was hurt. I didn't trust people, but yo, hurt people. And I feel like we gotta accept, I know this sounds crazy, but you gotta accept that people are gonna hurt you. The people closest to you are gonna hurt you. They're gonna betray you. They're gonna stab you in the back. They're gonna talk about you. But at the end of the day, I feel like you gotta accept that, and you gotta work with it, and you gotta understand people for who they are. It's like kind of like, you know what makes, you know how you're able to be a leader and a boss? When you have a snake and a tiger and a rat, and you have different things that you know, like a snake could stab you in the back, but you're not just gonna dismiss the snake. You're gonna work with the snake, knowing what he can and can't do, and still like use it for his strength, and still like work together for a bigger picture. And you know what I'm saying? Like still work in unity, knowing who people are. You get what I'm trying to say? Like one of the biggest examples for that is Jesus in the Bible. Again, back to the Bible. Like Judas was with him the whole time.
Very metaphoric to life. Like,
you know what I'm saying?
Already happened.
Jesus was with Jesus the whole time. And Jesus knew that this guy was going to betray him, but he still kept him close like a brother. You know what I'm saying? So I feel like once we accept that, I feel like we won't allow that hurt to destroy us and change us. Because really, when you're mad at someone, you don't forgive somebody, you're affecting yourself. You're not even, that's not hurting the other person. You're hurting yourself. Your mind is going crazy. You can't sleep at night. You can't eat. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, so once you could get over that, like, we could get along.
Because like you can't have victory and vengeance. You have to pick one. You know, so it's like you have to choose to like either forgive and like move forward, and also to be able to identify that like people were who they were before you met them. And also, okay, I've been reading this psychology book, right? It's called It Didn't Start With You, and it talks about how inherited family trauma is something that's like, it's beyond your time. It's something that's passed down through generations, inherited through your DNA. Like, it's like, you can't fight this shit. It's embedded in you. And it's like, we can't change our circumstances, but we can change how we choose to react to them. And so, like, you can, how do I say this? You can realize certain things, and you can act and change those things, should you choose to. Or you could ignore them and pretend like they didn't exist. But these things, like, it's just passed down through generations and generations of trauma.
Generational
like,
curse.
You can't be mad at them, like, for your parents, the way how they raised you and stuff like that, because it's like, how were they raised? It's things that, like, this is what they know. So it's like,
preaching hard.
This is shit that's passed down through generations.
Preaching hard.
And
It's like, that's why it's all about you. It always starts with you. Like I remember my brother one time, we had a shout out Creme Montreal. We had a deep conversation, and I never forgot that. He's like trying to say basically we need to do better, but I'm like, bro, like if you don't do it the next person with, so what's the big deal? He's like, nah, it starts with you. I'm saying, that hit me for years. Like, okay, that's not an excuse. Like same thing for selling drugs. Like my justification for selling crack to someone that I know clearly is fucking up their life is that, bro, if I don't sell it to him, somebody else is gonna sell them. They're gonna make the money. So fuck that, I'm gonna make the money. You know what I'm saying? So that used to be my justification. But now, like, I understand, like, nah, you need to be that person that's not doing it to show somebody else not to do it. Like, you start that positive trend. You know what I'm saying?
It's like littering. It's like, you know, if I litter, it's not a big deal because like that person litters too. But it's like, imagine if like me, I don't litter. So now I encourage everyone around me to not litter.
Yeah. And it starts with little shit like that, bro. Like
it takes one person
for sure
to make a difference. Even one person to make a difference in someone's life. Youth, like it takes one person.
Facts.
That's it.
Facts.
Just one.
Facts.
So it's like it can start with you. And like for me, like I'm aware that like, you know, systemic generational trauma has been
is on you, but you don't allow that to hold you back.
It ends here.
Nice.
You know what I'm saying?
High five
Obviously,
on that,
I'm gonna
bro.
have like I have my own shit, you know, but it's like I'm identifying, like I'm reading it's a really good book. It Didn't Start With You is what it's called.
Okay.
And like
who's the author?
Mark Wolin.
Okay.
Yeah. And it's super powerful because it's like
You're a reader? You read a lot?
I'm listening to it as an audible.
Nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I have the physical book too.
Yeah.
But listening to it is really nice. It's like in the car, like I'm actually like obsessed with it. Like,
send me the link.
Yeah.
Don't be like
I'm
that.
obsessed with it. Like I'm in the car listening to it.
Share the knowledge.
Just listen to it. Like, I'm cooking. I'm listening to it. Like and I was like, is that developmental psych? Like, it's like, yo, this is fucking psychology. Life is like mind. Your mind, you can train your mind to do anything. Like your mind is so powerful. It's just a matter of like what you tell yourself and the things that you feed yourself and like the impact that you leave on people based off of like how you respond to things. Even like role model, just doing things for yourself. Yeah. It like radiates. Yeah. You know, you're able to like affect people through like your own actions. Like you might think like, I'm just doing this for me and like it's helping me, but you helping you is helping everybody else. Facts. So I feel powerful. Your story is super powerful, and I could just imagine how many lives can be affected. That's like, amazing. Yeah. Like you were in like the street doing that, you know. Bear Girl. Now you're married. You got your business going on. You got your podcast, and now you're spreading like positivity through a platform that you're building. That's powerful.
Talk to me.
Super powerful.
Talk to me. Thank you. Appreciate that.
Yeah. On that note, do you meditate, by the way?
No, I don't meditate. Why? You really want to get into that?
Like, have you tried?
Okay.
Like, how do you do it?
Here's my understanding to it. Meditation
is like prayer.
Is different from prayer because, remember, we're spiritual beings too. And if you believe in God, you believe in angels, you have to believe in the devil and devils. There's two spirits going to and fro the earth, right? The devils are here to bring you down with them because they're cursed to hell. They're trying to bring you down with them. And angels are God's messengers sent to protect you from whatever and watch over you, right? Now, when you meditate, you're opening up your spirit to allow any spirit could come in because you're opening up yourself. You know what I'm saying? So why I don't meditate is because I don't want any type of spiritual entering me. You know what I'm trying to say? Now, prayer and meditating on God is a different thing. You know what I'm saying? Like praying, talking to God in a meditational way, but you're talking specifically, you're you're sending your energy to a specific location as opposed to just opening it up to anything. You get what I'm trying to say? So you're being specific on where you want it to go and with who, and it's being reciprocated with the Spirit of God. You know what I'm trying to say? Stuff like that, I'd rather do that. You know what I'm saying? But that's just my belief. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has their belief. I'm not dogging you saying you shouldn't meditate, you shouldn't do that. Nah. That's just my belief. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we only see the natural, but the spiritual world is very much still alive. You know what I'm trying to say? So we have to protect that.
Protect your energy.
Protect your energy.
Okay.
Yeah. And that's even with sex. Like, be careful who you have sex with, because
transferable energy.
you know what I'm saying? You might have sex with someone who's a pathological liar, and you've never lied your whole life, and you start fucking with them. Next thing you know, few months down the road, you're starting to lie for no reason. You don't even know why. Like, you don't know that energy got transferred into you. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah, no, for sure. Energy transfer is real, yo. Shit, you'll fucking inherit their trauma.
Yeah.
No, 100%.
Yeah.
What would you do? What's something that you would do if you knew that failing was impossible?
Feelings were impossible. Failing was impossible. Ooh, that's a nice one. I'm stealing that for the podcast. Yo, if failing was impossible, oh my God.
Because fear.
There's no limit.
One of the main things that holds us back in life, you know?
Of course. There's no limit to what I would do. I'd build my own country. You know what I'm saying?
What would it look like?
What would it look like? Oh man.
In a perfect world, what would your country look like?
Damn. That's some
free healthcare?
Definitely, but I mean that definitely to a certain extent, because like you do need
challenges? No,
you do need income to build a country, so you do gotta charge on certain things, but definitely limited as much as possible, you know. And one thing, all the McDonald's, them Tim Hortons, fast food, throwing away bare garbage bags at food at the end of the shift, that's a dub. Like, you know what I mean? Take that food, donate it to the homeless. Like, you know what I'm trying to say? Little stuff like that. Yeah.
So you want to I guess give back to like the disadvantaged? That's like, would you say that's
fact.
Like
That'll be one thing. If you do a bid, your criminal record can't stop you from getting another high position job. That doesn't affect your livelihood. It could be there stated just to know on your resume, okay, you are that person. Because you'd be an idiot even though like this person is a dog and you're still gonna treat him like a cat. Nah, nigga, that's a dog. Like, you know, so you gotta know who is who. So the resume is important to be there, but to hold that against you in life, it's messed up. Because even me right now, I have criminal records. There's certain things I can't do. You know what I'm saying? It's like, it's annoying.
So what would you propose as an alternative, as a deterrent to even like getting a criminal record? Like, because clearly our system is flawed.
Yeah.
100%. That's hands down. Everybody, we know this.
Yeah.
But what alternative, I guess, deterrents could there be to deter people from wanting to do criminal shit?
What could stop people? Poverty.
Yeah,
Poverty, man. I think poverty is one of the main things. You know what I'm saying? As I said, most of us when we're young, you know, our parents can't do things for us. We're going to do it for ourselves. You know what I'm saying?
So that part, because it's like, if we had access to certain resources earlier on, you're saying that would have prevented.
And not only access to it, but knowledge about it. Because there's resources there we don't even know about.
Information.
Facts.
Right.
Yeah. 100%.
This is something that like I realize as well. Like access. Like, there's a lot of things, lots of resources, lots of people, lots of things. But we don't know.
Yeah, and facilitate the bridge between what you want and how to get there. You know what I'm trying to say? Like, break it down in layman terms where you don't have to go through experience of 10 different jobs to find what you want. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, facts. That's why that's how I ended up here today. That's how I ended up here today. To bridge that gap.
Okay.
Yeah.
You can do it. I believe in you. You're already bridging. I already see you bridging gaps. So shout out to you, man.
You know what I'm saying? It's not just a solo mission. it's a collective. It's a collective thing, you know. For people like stories like you and stuff like that, it's like it's a collective thing. So it's like, you know, the things that you learn, you're now able to give that information back.
For
and
sure.
just like,
For sure.
I feel like if we like hit our youth at a certain age with the information that we know now that we wish we knew then, shit. Like,
I feel like the youth now have more knowledge than us sometimes. So it's not just about the knowledge, but how to apply certain knowledge. You know what I'm trying to say? Or that's what I'm saying. Like, I feel like in life, for some reason, most of us, we don't learn until we experience. How can we change that so that you don't have to experience the worst?
preventative.
To find the best outcome. You know what I'm trying to say?
Yeah. We need to be in the communities.
Yeah.
Like in there.
Yeah.
The show, we hope you're feeling inspired, you know, subscribe, like, share, follow for more.
Yeah. Hey, yo, come on, talk to me in the comments, man. What do you guys want to hear about? Send me some fun topics. Send me your opinion on stuff we talk about. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Make sure you guys subscribe though, okay?
For sure.
There's like way more content coming out.
Facts.
Lots more deep interviews. We got lots of stuff coming out.
Facts.
Life is a journey.
Yeah.
Join us on the journey.
You know what I'm saying?
Shmeah Beyond. You guys can find me on Instagram. Shmeah Beyond. SHIMEAH. Beyond, like beyond the stars. You know what I'm saying? Young Clips. Where can they find you at?
Young Clips chair game, man. Like Instagram YUNGC1IPZ. Young Clips. YouTube, Young Clips chair game.
Spotify.
Hey, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, we here, man. You know what I'm saying? Appreciate you, Shmeah. You know what I'm saying?
Thank you for having me.
No, for sure. Thank you. Big things coming your way. You know what I'm saying? Keep doing what you do. I'm proud of you. You know, I look at you as a young black woman that's destined for greatness. You know, I love the energy and the work you put in. Just keep doing it, man. Keep being yourself.
Yeah.
Don't let bad experience or bad people turn you from being who you're supposed to be.
Big facts.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that. Destined for greatness. We some young legends out here, you know what I'm saying?
That's all. That's all. You already know.
Through the pain, through the struggle, if you try to reach, then you gon' pull a muscle. I did it all for the hustle. Tryna ball, build, wrestle. Through the pain, through the heat, I can't take it, too much pain in these streets. I did it all for my peeps. I did it all in these streets.
Had a lot of pain in me, now I got these chains on me. Think my legs gave out the way I keep this cane on me.